Like, my mum always says to me, I'm so relaxed, I'm nearly horizontal. I said it, and then I caught myself, and I was like,
The most relaxed person in the world, just standing bow upright.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Way It Goes podcast 2024, episode 11 today.
It still don't feel right saying 2024.
It doesn't feel right at all, does it? No.
We're like, how many days are we in? Like,
so many already.
10 days in. We're 10 days in. And I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hope you had a good New Year.
Yeah. Good New Year and good Christmas. We've had a bit of a break, obviously, just to celebrate the festivities, crack on with our work, and sort ourselves out. And yeah, we appreciate you bearing with us. We've had a few people asking us when the podcast is going to be back.
That's been nice.
Which has been nice. Yeah, it's nice to hear that people look forward to it on their Mondays. So if that applies to you, then thank you so much for tuning in once again. And I'm just going to preface this with, as you can probably hear, I'm not very well at all and haven't been for some time.
He's so ill.
Yeah, luckily I managed to escape it over Christmas and New Year. So I'm not going to complain. Silver linings. I managed to get away with it the whole time. And only get sick in January. So I'm very grateful for that. But do please bear with me if I cough or splutter or just lose my voice during the recording. I know it's probably not the nicest thing to hear someone coughing in your ear holes, but I'm going to do my best.
Boy, I can't wait for my turn.
You'll be fine. So today we are going to talk about New Year's resolutions because that's what it's all about.
I mean,
that's what happens in the New Year.
It's the only logical thing.
I know.
First episode of the New Year. New Year's resolutions.
New
Year, new me, you know what I mean?
No, New Year, same old me.
Yeah.
So, do you have a New Year's resolution, first and foremost?
Absolutely not. I've thought of several. Like we was discussing the other day, like with actually developing my own YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Personal goals, that sort of thing.
Personal goals, stuff like that. But none that I want to... The problem with me and New Year's resolutions is I don't want to stick to anything. Because I know at some point I'm going to go, this is cool. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's the point.
There's certain things like with this, creative outlets and stuff like that I can see myself doing for a very long time.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the bog standard one, the gym, I see myself doing it for a few months and then I'm too tired, I won't go today, and then it stops.
And then this is the thing. Like I think you have to be realistic, right, with your goals,
100%.
Because a lot of the time they just don't really.
You have to be willing to make a little bit of leeway for yourself, but equally so, still hold yourself sort of semi-accountable and be like, no, I've committed to this, I kind of need to do it.
Yeah, this is it, isn't it? Yeah.
Which I'm not very good at doing, so that's why I don't go to the gym.
That's fair enough. You do have a gym membership still.
I do have my gym membership,
right?
Yeah. But
the fact that I had to ask you that, I mean, that kind of says it all, right?
But the fact of the matter is like I said to you the other day, January, I do not go to the gym.
No, this is the thing, right? I was going to bring this up because January gym goers are the worst kind because they're the New Year's resolution people.
But don't get me wrong, more power to you. You can keep at it.
Absolutely.
But
it's great.
If you're going there
just for January,
just to sit on a weights rack for 20 minutes, do one set and then go, now I need a 10-minute rest.
Yeah.
No, please don't do that. Because A, you're setting yourself unrealistic goals because you're thinking that you can do more than you actually can. B, other people want to use the gym. Other people that have been going there a lot longer want to use the gym. And C, if you're doing one set and then you need a 10-minute rest, you need to see a doctor.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you should probably be consulting someone before you start that workout routine. Yeah, fair point.
I have no ill will to the people that do like the cool January 1st of the month, like New Year, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
No ill will.
It's cool. It's cool to have that mindset.
It's good. But the thing is like, if you're not going to be, if you don't see yourself being there in 6 months, then you need to set yourself smaller goals.
Yeah.
Like, for me, during lockdown, most of my goals were like, obviously because we couldn't go to gyms and stuff like that.
Yep.
It'd be like, cool, I'll do this like 10-minute workout video. And then, you know, cool, I'll do this 15-minute workout video like a few months down the line.
Yeah,
like small increments.
Building them up.
Because a lot of people, in my honest opinion, a lot of people fail to see the little wins as wins.
Yes, yeah.
Which, when you think about it, any increase in a goal or any change in a goal, that's a huge win. That's a huge win. Even if it feels like it's the tiniest little thing. Like, you have just achieved a goal that you have set yourself.
Yeah.
For some people, that is like the hardest thing to do. Like, for some people, it's hard enough to get out of bed in the morning.
Exactly.
So achieving a small goal like that, it's huge, and you should celebrate it for yourself, not with several Big Macs.
No. Defeats the object.
It's not something I've done before. No.
Accusations.
Slander. Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Dan, say something.
So that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions and goals and things like that. But yeah, I think we can take a couple of minutes just to catch up. It's been a month since our last recording.
That is true. That is true.
And yeah, I feel like a lot's happened. We had Christmas. I wasn't really looking forward to Christmas last year, should I say, the year just gone. But you know what? I had a pretty good time.
He says after recording a Christmas special.
Yeah. No, but we did. This is the thing. So we did the Christmas special.
Yes.
Over Christmas, we did a lot of like games nights and stuff and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We did, like the usual bits and bobs with friends. New Year's, we had a banger of a party around yours. It felt like the old days. So I made the best of it.
Yeah. I think I mean, New Year's, we had a great time.
We did have a good time. Yeah, we did have a good night. And yeah, Christmas, bless her, my mum, she come round and she'd listened to the podcast in the morning.
Yeah.
So the morning of Christmas Day, the podcast launched, the Christmas special, and she woke up first thing and listened to it.
Bless her.
And during the Christmas special podcast, we talked about your dad's bacon sprouts.
Yes.
And how much I liked the bacon sprouts.
Yeah.
And so she went down to her corner shop, which is open on Christmas Day, and she bought some bacon. And she brought it over and she did bacon sprouts for me on Christmas Day.
Oh,
and it was the sweetest thing ever. And yeah, shout out Mumsy, because that's you know, that's attention to detail, that is.
Did you take a photo of your plate though?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
This is the first year I took a photo of my plate.
Is that right?
Because I was just like, I never do it. I never normally do it. I'm not like, I didn't post it to Instagram or anything like that. I'm not a food grammer.
No.
But like, I looked at it and I was just like, do you know what? I keep telling people how good this meal is, and I've never taken a photo.
No, that's a fair point, actually. No, you didn't show me though. You didn't show me.
I'll show you after the podcast.
Yeah, show me. Yeah, but yeah. So overall, we've just been busy, haven't we? We've just been busy working and this and that. Like work's been super busy.
Christmas is busy.
Christmas is super busy, and seeing friends and family and all that kind of thing. So I think we made the best of it, and yeah, I hope you guys all had a really good time. And yeah, New Year's resolutions for me, I'm not a massive believer in New Year's resolutions. I do think of it as a little bit of a fresh start. Like when it comes to the New Year, obviously things really mellow out. Like everything calms down after New Year. All the celebrations and the festivities are kind of done. And so I do definitely feel like it is a little bit of a fresh start. But for me, I'm not really the sort of New Year's resolution. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, I'm going to work out more this year.
Yeah.
It's already January the 10th as of recording this. And I have not been working. I mean, I've been ill, so I've got an excuse. But the point is, I haven't been to the gym yet this year.
Yeah.
And I probably won't in January, just on the basis of what we were just talking about. But I am determined to do a little bit more home workouts and carry on. You know me, I go for walks, long walks and stuff all the time, even if it's on my own. And I'm determined to carry that on. I've put on a bit of weight and I want to try and tighten up and all that kind of thing. So there are those goals in my head, but I'm not going to be like, I'm going to set myself this. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times, because it's not realistic for me. But I know it's not realistic for me. So if I try and set myself that goal, I'm just going to disappoint myself. I think that's what a lot of people do. They kind of go down that route of like, I'm going to do this. And then they're disappointed in 2 months' time when they don't do it. You've got to set a realistic goal. Otherwise, there's no point.
Exactly. The thing is, like, we're so busy 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You've got your other YouTube channel and work. I'm full-time at work.
Yeah.
So for us,
got such busy schedules.
We've just got such busy schedules. Either that, like we're either here recording, or I'm at a gig, or we're at work.
Yep.
and we rarely get the time to sit down and go, cool, what am I going to set myself for this year? What challenges am I going to set myself for this year? And don't get me wrong, like I said, I haven't given myself any like New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I've kind of more looked on it as like I've given myself a set of challenges to like be like I said with the YouTube channel and stuff like that. I want to create more.
Yeah.
But in doing that, it means I have to make some sacrifice.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And that would be sacrificing like free time, obviously, stuff like that. But it's, for me, with New Year's resolutions, it's always that initial push that is the hardest bit.
Yeah.
Once you get started, you kind of on a roll. Like with this, now that we've got kind of rolling, it takes us 5 minutes to set up.
Yeah.
And
because we know what we're doing. We've got a routine.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's always that initial push.
It is hard. I think
I really struggle with stuff like that.
You do, yeah. That's if there's a calling out your friends moment, this is it. Like that's your biggest weakness, is just doing something. Like I feel like if you're pushed into doing something, eventually you'll do it.
Yeah.
But if you've got to do it of your own motivation, you really struggle with that.
Yeah. I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
Because I said I was going to get my nose pierced.
Yeah. And that's booked.
I've booked it.
We're going on Saturday.
Done it. We're going on Saturday. I'm getting my nose pierced.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah. And we're going to have some lunch, and you're going to be sitting there going,
And then my mum told me I'm having a midlife crisis.
Well, look.
So, what do you mean you're getting your nose pierced? I was like, I want to get my nose pierced.
Yeah.
Stop. You're having a bit of a midlife crisis, aren't you? I was like, oh, thanks, mum.
Well, it's not a very expensive one, so at least that's something.
At least that's something.
Yeah, exactly that. So, yeah, for me, I can't say I've really set any particular New Year's resolutions. Like, probably one is just the fitness thing. Like, I do want to get back into that, but I haven't set anything specific. I haven't been like, I'm going to do gym 3 times a week, because I'm not, is the long story short.
Yeah.
So I know it's just more about gradually getting back into it. And I think what I really want to do this year is push my content, because I've really started slacking towards the end of last year in terms of the car content and all the stuff that I do, like YouTube wise. And that does bring me in money now, and that is a business. Like, it's not just a hobby anymore. So it's like, I've made the sacrifice and gone part-time at work, so I need to put more energy into my own projects to make sure
I've always said to you, keep at it.
Yeah.
I've always said to you,
the trouble is, and I've always said this, it's hard to do, it's hard to film, like, because the weather's always crap in this country, always. And, being outside...
Well, summer's been a bit crazy this year.
Yeah, summer was really good last year, to be fair, and I'm sure it probably will be this year as well, but... It's not like, I can't just sit in my room and film it. Like, I've got to get out there and actually do stuff, and obviously getting access to cars is difficult and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're obviously in a press car today, so that's something I've got to go out and film. So yeah, and I've got a press car next week booked in as well. So there's like a couple that I've got lined up, but then it's like, cool, I now need to think beyond that as well.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. Like, if I want to put money into my own car to do it, it's expensive as well. So. But I know I've got to keep at it because I love it, and that's kind of the whole reason I took it up in the first place. And we was kind of having this conversation last night, when it's like, you need to take time to follow your dreams. And if there was any advice that I would give for anyone this year as a sort of a broad New Year's resolution, it's to think about what that dream is. If you're not sure about it yet, think about it. But if you are sure about it, what little baby steps can you take towards that? Because you don't have to do anything major, but even those tiny steps could lead to something major.
Exactly.
So it's well worth stepping into. So I think that's it for me. I'm just going to carry on doing what I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And also looking after myself a little bit more. I feel like, I guess this is probably one that a lot of people will have, but excuse me. I think that, looking after myself a little bit more is, in terms of being able to not be a people pleaser as much, like learn to say no and make sure that you're doing what's right for you in all situations. Don't go somewhere just because you feel obliged to do it. Don't see people or speak to people that you feel obliged to. Like, just
I feel that.
Just look after yourself, look after your own health, and naturally the people that are close to you and that understand you will gravitate towards you anyway. So, it's not to say stop putting energy into people. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just like, you have to be prepared to have that give and take. And
I think I started on this path last year, towards the end of last year, I give myself this mantra of, if I don't have a lot of effort put into me, I won't put a lot of effort back in.
Which is fair enough.
And it's not like I'm not putting effort in because I'm not either not friends with this person or I have something against this person. It's not that. I don't have anything against anyone.
Yeah.
It's just more a case of I need to focus on myself to make myself better.
Yeah.
But if I've got people around me that kind of half-arse it, then I know full well I'm not going to put the effort back in.
No.
Because I need all of my the only word that I can think of is strength to focus on me and not try and, like you say, people please other people around me. I used to be a huge people pleaser. Huge people pleaser. If like someone invited me out, and I still do it to this day, if someone invites me out, I'm always on it because I don't want to let that person down.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that, and I know it is never intended on the other person. I know it's never a case of like the other person is if I said no, they'd be like, oh, all right then. I know they'd always be cool with it, but in my brain it's like, no, you're letting this person down. You have to go out.
Yeah, that's a difficult mindset to be in because you drain yourself that way sometimes.
100%, and I think that's why I feel so as burnt out as I do now, because I've been in that mindset for so long that trying to work my way out of it is just taking up all of my energy just for me to say a simple word, no.
Well, there's your New Year's resolution.
What? Oh yeah,
there you go. See?
Look, just say no.
Just say no.
Right, I'm off.
Yeah. Well, thanks for what. Yeah. Right. So we actually asked the question on Instagram for people's New Year's resolutions or ones that people have like had before and that kind of thing. So we got some interesting submissions. So I'll go through the ones that I got. So yeah, some of these are I guess quite important ones to these people. Some of them are potentially not. Some of them potentially failed already. So yeah, let's have a little look. So the first one is get over my fear of escalators. Niche. Very niche.
I mean, I kind of get it though. I kind of get a fear of escalators.
To be fair, if we're talking about like London Underground, those things are like vertical.
They're terrifying.
What's that about? Like if you slipped on there, that's it. It's curtains for you. You're like at the bottom, skull cracked. The works like there's no job.
No. Like literally, the Lizzie line is the worst because when you look up, you're looking up.
Yeah,
you're not like
the worst thing to do when you're on the underground is to be on the escalator and to look right at the angle of the screens and the posters.
Oh, that always makes me feel sick
because it's like the angle that they are is what is 90 degrees to the floor.
Yeah.
So you look at them and you're like, that looks way off, and it's because you're at such an incline.
And I don't understand how the thing that my brain doesn't get, could be the damage, but here we go. Is that when you're stood there, how are you not like leaning back? How is your body not forcing you to lean back because of the incline that you're at?
I guess it's because it's stairs, isn't it? It's not a slope.
I mean, I mean, it's all
it's
like
a psychological thing, isn't it?
Psychological thing. Yeah. Like you
get used to it.
You know how stairs work.
It is, yeah. I can understand fear of escalators. I can understand in that situation because that is not a nice place to be.
But if you're down your local shopping centre,
no,
those escalators ain't scary.
No, they're not. Apart from the fact that they break every 5 minutes, and then you have to take the stairs instead.
Fair.
I mean,
or
that's
the
a scary prospect. Or the lift, yeah, that's even worse.
Oh god,
you're in there and there's like a baby screaming in its pram, and there's someone coughing, and someone lets out a massive fart, and then you start choking. You know, it's just a whole thing's a disaster.
It just gets worse.
It just gets worse gradually.
Just gets worse.
Yeah, gradually, just gets worse and worse.
Oh,
yeah, niche one, but fair play. Like, you know, there's always that thing, isn't it, with fears, like getting over fears and phobias and stuff like that. It's that exposure therapy. It's like, you know, if you're scared of spiders, then you've got to hold a spider. If you're scared of, you know, heights, then you've got to go somewhere really high up and just expose yourself to it. And I think it probably does work, to be fair. So yeah, lots of shopping centres for that person this year. The next one, stop being fat. That's quite blunt, quite abrupt.
I mean, to be fair,
it's a very broad fitness goal.
It's a very broad fitness goal.
Yeah.
And this ties in quite nicely to what I said earlier. Set yourself goals that you can achieve.
Yeah, a broad goal.
A broad goal.
Not like this person could have said, I'm going to go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And it's like, no, you're not. But stop being fat. Potentially.
Exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly.
And fat
fat's a relative term.
Exactly. What does that even mean?
I could consider myself as fat.
Anyone could.
I probably am. But it's such a broad...
Yeah, it's very self-deprecating, but sometimes
but the thing is, like, I don't think, genuinely, on a genuine level, I don't think you should view yourself as fat.
No, I think that's very common, though.
That is very common. Like that. I don't think you should view yourself as that. The thing is, if you think you could lose a little weight, you think you could lose a little weight. There's no harm in that. There's no problem in that. Obviously, with respect to losing weight... Like I said earlier, set realistic goals.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could go to the gym every day for a week? No.
Interesting you say that. The next one is go to the gym 3 times a week.
Oh,
oh God. Yeah, no. That one fundamentally I disagree with as a New Year's resolution because cool, more power to you.
If you can stick at it,
genuinely
more power to you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you genuinely can, but I feel like the majority of people who set a very rigid and specific goal like that, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Because if you're not doing that already, there's got to be a barrier for that. Even if it's just motivation, like...
But it's not even just like
a motivation thing. You've got to ease yourself into it, you know?
It's not even just like a motivation thing. It's not even like a you going to the gym 3 times a week. Life happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you've got a week where, like, everything just hits the fan... and you don't go to the gym for that entire week.
You've got lives to live. Like, people have got birthdays to celebrate. You've got family to see. You've got jobs.
Exactly. Whatever. But the thing is life happens and then you don't go for a week. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Awful. Because you feel like, I've not achieved what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah, not achieved it, yeah.
I've failed my goal already. Like, we keep saying broad goals.
Yeah.
Achieve in small increments rather than try and make big leaps, because big leaps are unachievable.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, it's not always unachievable, but small increments lead to bigger success.
Yeah,
because the small increments that you make eventually will get you to that big goal that you set.
Yeah,
because you've not rushed it. You've taken it methodical. You've taken a step-by-step approach rather than trying to go, cool, gym every day, for every week, for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That's not achievable.
No.
That's not achievable. The thing is, for the normal person, I don't use the word normal person, but like for the normal person...
What is normal?
What is normal, exactly. Who has the time to go to the gym that much? I don't.
No. There are people that will literally do every day in the gym. I don't know how they do it, but fair play to them.
There's only so many hours in the day. How do you do it? Please tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd love to know. I would love to know. But more power to them, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, next one. The next one just says, I can't even remember who sent this in. Stop entertaining my toxic ex.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
They're not good for you. Just
stop it. No, but the thing is, I guess it's, again, this is so subjective, isn't it? It's like you don't know this person's scenario and what's actually caused that to come about and all that kind of... That's funny, though.
The fact of the matter is they know they're toxic.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? It's like...
toxic
you've got that,
they know they're toxic. So... The fact of the matter is because you know they're toxic, stop entertaining them.
Yeah.
Because you know it's wrong. They don't care.
Yeah.
Abundantly clear.
Yeah, clearly in the forbidden fruit, lost in the sauce.
Exactly, lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Stop texting them at 3 a.m. after you've had a few drinks.
Oh, that's the worst. Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. Your life is much better without them.
I wonder, this person, you know, I keep seeing memes like about people who text their ex at midnight on New Year's. And I'm like, imagine this is the person's New Year's resolution. They failed it. They charged the whole thing by like 12:02 a.m. New Year's Day. Imagine.
Right. Honestly, on a serious level, on a serious level, if you know they're toxic, stop entertaining them. 100%, because it's not worth the stress that they will put you through. It's not worth it. You're better off without. You can do better. Anyone can do better than a toxic.
I feel like that probably, out of all the ones we've spoken about so far, though, I think that's probably the most difficult for a lot of people.
100%.
Because people are like, you can't just have a date where you just, with like fitness, it's like, cool, today I'm going to start that journey. With like love and passion and, you know, attraction and stuff, you can't just, there's no hard limit with that. See, like, there's no line.
The thing for me is I've become a very, I guess, brutal person. If someone has scorned me, per se, that's it, cut ties, that's it, done. Not through hate of that person, but you can't be trusted.
Your own self-worth,
you can't be trusted.
That's fair, that's fair enough.
If you can't be trusted, there's not enough, there's not worth it. Not putting my time and effort into someone who can't be trusted.
There's a lot of power in that, you know. There's a lot of power in having that ability.
It's only recently. It's literally only recently. Only since I got ill, because I genuinely think, like, and it isn't just the damage, but it's genuinely changed my mindset.
Yeah.
For those who've forgotten, I do actually have brain damage, by the way. It's changed my mindset of like how I view the world.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like that, like life flashes before your eyes and you're a different person after that experience. I am a different person after that experience. Like
you probably value your time and your energy more.
Exactly. And I value just what people put into me and what I put back into people. Like if you don't want to put effort in, that's fine. Don't expect me to put effort back. Like I am so chill. Like my mum always says to me, I'm so relaxed, I'm nearly horizontal. I said it, and then I caught myself, and I was like,
the most relaxed person in the world, just standing bolt upright,
dead still. No, my mum always says to me, I'm so relaxed, I'm nearly horizontal. Like I'm so chill.
That tickled me.
And like we've said before, that we could not talk for ages. There's no ill will there. There's no
absolutely, But I'm just that sort of person. I can't be bothered with.
Exactly. I can't keep up with people. And again, it takes so much fucking effort. To keep myself upright. That
you just don't want all the fluff.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. But again, it goes back to like that's your 2024 villain era. Right there.
That's the 2024 villain era that we need.
That's it, it's so interesting though, like seeing New Year's stuff on social media, because you almost see a transition in some people's accounts where it's like you've got loads of stuff going on, and then you go into a new year and it's like all of a sudden like the whole thing is different, and it's like, whoa, like you had a personality transplant.
Instagram profile you told me about the other day, it was like
Instagram profile,
the one that was like all photos of a boy and a girl one day, and then
all
gone the next day.
All got imagine that person's New Year's resolution really was get over
stop the toxic ex,
like
stop the toxic ex.
Imagine getting dumped at midnight on New Year's Day. Oh, that's a rough one, isn't it? I've never even considered that as an option, but I bet it happens. Do you know, have you ever, this is a weird thing, right? This is a completely off topic and completely random, but it's just popped into my head. Do you ever want to know statistics? Like, they're just impossible to calculate. Like, I want to know right now how many people got dumped at midnight on New Year's Day. Like, if there was a way of tracking that statistic, if I was some sort of AI bot that could just pluck that number out, I'd be fascinated by that.
I would be fascinated by it. The thing for me is like, I couldn't do that to someone. Not on like a holiday. That's cruel, isn't it? Yeah. Not on a holiday.
Oh, middle of the holiday, yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah,
around the swimming pool.
Yeah, like I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
I don't think this is working out. And it just dives off the board into the...
Just getting onto the plane as the door closes.
Oh my god,
this is not working for me.
you know like when we were kids and you're on the bus and people just like press the emergency exit and just jump off the bus. Just jump. Oh dear.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, that would be awful. But yeah, that would be a very interesting thing to learn. And I actually joined on Facebook. There's a group on Facebook. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's something like the Dull Men's Appreciation Society or something like that. And it's got nearly 1 million members, this page.
Okay.
Worldwide. And basically, it's the whole point of the page is just, it's mainly men on there. And it's just people posting about stuff that is really uninteresting and boring. But I find it so fascinating, some of the stuff that comes up. People will literally post like they're out in the woods and they found this rock that looks interesting, and then people are commenting like, oh, this is really cool, what if it's this, what if it's that? And then someone will post like, oh, I just picked up this 1972 typewriter that's got blah 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 blah, and then people just chat about it in the comments. And honestly, it goes back to that thing of like just plucking out random statistics. Like,
if people are talking about it quite passionately,
yeah,
that then doesn't make it dull.
Yeah, but
there's
to a lot of
paradox to that page.
Exactly, that's the fascinating thing about it. And yeah, like there was a guy on there yesterday, and he was talking about how he'd got this rubbish hire car for work, and he was talking about how terrible the interior was and how he really found it annoying that one of the stalks didn't do a certain thing. And I, as an automotive journalist, I was sitting there like laughing because I was like thinking about the things that I think when I sit in a car and think about the review of the car. But yeah, that's been a fun page to just sit and scroll through.
You find the weirdest pages.
I do, honestly, and it shows that I'm getting, at age 27, to find that page and find it so interesting is a real tragedy. But I'm here to embrace it. Right, next one. This one I completely disagree with. I will stop constantly moaning about the weather, my commute, and how tired I am when I'm at work. I disagree with that purely because that would snub about 80% of the conversation at work.
That's fair.
Because that's all you talk about.
But it's not only that. Like, if you're tired, you're tired.
Yeah.
Say that you're tired. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, true. But not so much that. It's more the case of like, as the British, we always talk about the weather. That's the go-to. It's like, oh, it's a little bit chilly today.
Complaining is what we do.
And the weather is like the number one variable that there is, and I don't think we'd be in any place with that. And the commute, it's like, oh, a bit of traffic today. Oh, the trains were delayed today. Oh,
Oh, there's a fire on the A2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a lorry that's broken down. It's causing right carnage, it is. Or, someone's accidentally thrown a bag in front of the tube, and so, we're now delayed by 14 hours or whatever.
14 hours? Yeah. Oh, my God.
And how tired people are. I mean, that's just normal conversations. Like, the kids kept me up. Oh,
yeah.
It's just what people do. It's just, as Brits, we're pre-programmed to whinge about stuff.
I mean, it's true. It is true.
And
we
it is small talk.
It is the small talk. It is the classic opening line. Oh, the weather's a bit cold today.
Yeah.
Of a conversation at work.
Yeah.
It's the opening line. I don't think I've ever started a conversation at work other than with people that I'm friendly with and close with, without being like, oh, bloody cold today.
Yeah.
Like,
just what we do, isn't it?
It's just what we do. Literally, like, I think what's that show with I can't remember. It's a Peep Show.
Yeah.
That is an insight into a general, like,
that is so true, actually. Yeah.
Day
now that I think about it,
as a British person.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some extreme bits and pieces. That is just an insight into what we have to deal with every bloody day.
Yeah, true.
As blessed as we are, like, it is bloody boring sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, true that. I mean, half of our podcast is just sitting whinging about stuff.
Yeah, that's facts. But it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's funny ha-ha or funny peculiar, but maybe a nice mix of the two.
Well, I mean, we find it funny. And
we find it funny. Probably at least 10% of our viewers find it funny.
Yeah, 2 people find it funny.
Yeah, fantastic. That's us. Yeah. Oh, dear. And the last one that I got was, and this one I think is actually a really a good one, an admirable one, and one that you could potentially really invest in, and that's less screen time. I think it's more difficult now because, let's face it, like the majority of people have jobs now that your sole job is to be on a computer or a mobile device or whatever it is. Like, obviously what we do, we're constantly looking at screens. I'm constantly looking at screens at home because I'm editing, but also I'm a big video gamer. and I'm constantly looking at screens. But there are tools on all of these devices to monitor your screen time and to reduce the screen time or put caps on certain apps. You know, if you're addicted to scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you can put caps on that, so that it then kind of tells you, oh, you know, maybe you should put this down now.
I think there's a tweak to that. Instead of less screen time, because that's quite a hard one, because obviously, like you said, with work and stuff
it's
like
quite
that.
difficult,
Less social media.
Well, this is what I was going to say, because that's really where the time sink is for a lot of people. And scrolling incessantly through TikTok and Instagram and Reels and, you know, Twitter.
Like we've said before, that world is fake.
Yeah, a lot of it is, and a lot of it is quite toxic, and a lot of it is, you know, just the highlights of people's lives and not the realistic side of it, which obviously isn't helpful when you're trying to get through something.
It's
or
like the exodus of YouTubers that are calling it quits from like years ago, like older YouTubers that are calling it quits now because they don't like the way social media is going. And I think that's completely fair. And again, like we've said, very admirable. That you've taken that and gone, nah, not for me. I'm taking a stand. I'm not doing this. And I get it. Like, social media is a very toxic and hostile place. I would love if we were a little refuge away from that.
I mean,
hostility.
to be fair, a lot of people I think do use podcasts as a sort of a, you know, rather than sitting on the train or the tube or whatever, you know, on their commute scrolling through something, they will just put the headphones in and just listen to something, whether that be music or whether it be a podcast. I've said before, and I'll admit it again, I'm not really a big podcast guy. There are some that I do watch, you know, avidly. There's maybe like 2 or 3 podcasts that I will watch every episode. But I'm not a big, I watch them. I'm not a big podcast listener. I wouldn't listen to a podcast in the car, not my cup of tea. I really like music in the car. But it's each to their own. But either way, you are reducing that screen time and maybe that social media time as part of that. And I think it'd probably be worth us doing a full episode in the future, to be honest, on screen time, social media addiction, that kind of thing. It's something we've touched on before, but I think that's something that is really pressing in the modern society, especially in our age bracket, like sort of the
100%.
late teens to maybe early 30s is the biggest sort of bracket of
absolutely that. I think that the best thing that we can do as people is when we're on social media, understand that the person might be having a bad day. If they're being nasty, might just be having a bad day. Obviously, within reason, some people can be a little too nasty on social media. Unredeemably nasty on their social media. But the thing is if you use social media as an outlet for your, I'm going to get probably a little bit what's the word? Can't think of the word. Doesn't matter. For your beliefs and your way of life. You have to understand that not everyone is going to be A, receptive to that, and B, live that life. And the biggest thing that I think that people that go on social media could benefit from is understanding. Is a level of understanding. Don't get me wrong, that's not everyone on social media.
No.
There are a lot of people with a lot of understanding and a lot of willing to sit there and listen to someone speak terrible things just to go, no, I don't subscribe to this. But equally so, I think if everyone had a little level of understanding, social media would be a better place to be. I think at the moment, I agree with a lot of these YouTubers that are leaving YouTube and social media and stuff like that, that it's just not the place that, it's not a good place to be at the moment. So less social media time is a great goal.
That's a great goal for 2024.
Like for podcasts and stuff like that, to listen to podcasts, you know, The Way It Goes, Monday to 5. For music, for, you know, talking to friends, sitting on a phone call. Like the amount of times that I've been called up by Taylor or whoever and just sat on a phone call for like half hour. that's nice.
Better than scrolling through TikTok.
It's better than scrolling through.
True.
It's better than doom scrolling. It's so much better than doom scrolling.
True. Yeah, that's so true.
100%.
Right, should we whiz through the last of them? You've got a couple as well,
I have
and then we'll move on to the next segment.
My first one is to do my CBT this year, get a bike and ride away from my problems.
If only it were that simple.
It's the dream. It's the dream just to be like, here comes the sun.
Do you know what? CBT, I've never really been interested in it. As a big car guy, interestingly, I'm not that big on bikes, which is, I guess, probably surprising to a lot of people. My dad's really big on bikes, but I've never really got into it. I guess just because I prefer not to be exposed to the horrible UK climate.
The first time I got on a bike, I dropped it. So,
good stuff.
Yeah, no bikes for me.
That's a good goal. I mean, not the ride away from my problems. That's probably not going to happen. But a CBT is a good way for some independence. And if you get you can get like a cheap scooter, and it's really cheap to like insure. And
having like a bike ride, just to have a bike ride, it's the same as like doing like a car journey.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Just doing a car journey. Not to, I guess, get away from the problems, but like to have just a break.
Good little escape, yeah.
It's a good little escape, good little break. It's nice.
But yeah, for sake of a bit of independence for someone who doesn't drive, I guess, is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Good goal.
The next one.
Yep.
They are pointless.
What, New Year's resolutions are pointless?
Yes, New Year's resolutions.
I mean, that's a fair statement, because a lot of what we've unpicked here is that sometimes, excuse me, they are just unrealistic. So
it's true. I think that
some people just don't.
People just don't believe it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's absolutely fine. It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they're pointless per se, but I could understand if you're not the sort of person who wants to set a goal that they don't feel is realistic.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It's good to have goals. Maybe not call them New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, do you think maybe New Year's resolutions are getting a bit old-fashioned? Because the interesting thing is, right, New Year's is so close to Christmas, and lots of Christmas traditions are really old-fashioned now. But we still do them because it's part of Christmas and it's what happens. But New Year's resolutions, the more people... We spoke to quite a few people at work about this as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said that they don't really believe in New Year's resolutions, more so than I thought would probably say that. So maybe it is just one of them things now that less and less people make them. For
I agree.
Reasons,
like, I mean, I don't make New Year's resolutions just because it's hard to stick to them.
Yeah,
it's really hard to stick to them, and I just like, I think for me, I like living in the moment.
Yeah,
and I'm too much of a like. If I'm making plans, I'll make plans for the future, but like they won't be solid plans. Like next year, I want to own a home and stuff like that. It's cool. I'll see where life takes me.
Plans out.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair. Yeah.
And the last one, fail to eat food without lactose.
That's me.
This is clearly from a person with who lactose
intolerant. Yeah.
So
the New Year's resolution was to go dairy free, and obviously
not.
If I made the New Year's resolution to go dairy free, I would have failed by the end of New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Because I mean, coffee, I'm always dairy free, food, mostly dairy free, but I'm a massive chocoholic. And it doesn't do me any good at all.
100%.
It doesn't do me any good at all, but I'll catch me a day with... I don't think there's been a day in my adult life that I haven't had a bar of chocolate.
But to that person who failed, you know...
Yeah, good luck on the battlefield.
Good luck on the battlefield.
Good luck cleaning to the bath in the toilet and all the rest of it.
Holding on to the walls.
Screaming. yeah, that's a rough one. But yeah, so there we go. So there's some submissions that we had on Insta for New Year's resolutions. Some pretty interesting ones, pretty funny ones, and some pretty good ones. People who are actually probably going to go forward and do some awesome things this year. So best of luck to all of them.
Absolutely. And whether or not you've set yourself a goal, if you have, more power to you. I hope you achieve your goals, and I hope you achieve, what you're trying to work for. And to those who haven't set goals, don't be disheartened that other people are setting goals. It doesn't matter. You're still working to whatever you're working towards, and effectively that is a goal in the end. So,
Do you know what? I'm going to say it here. I don't have a New Year's resolution, but I think my goal for this year is just going to have a more positive outlook, because I spent a lot of 2023 moping about, and it doesn't get as much as it's good to feel the things you feel and you know, go through the motions and try and better yourself. I think you do have to not be too hard on yourself, because, you know, I'm very lucky. I've got enough money to live on. I'm surrounded by some really good people, and I would like to say I'm healthy. I'm clearly not today, but in general, my health is quite good, you know, so I can't really complain too much. And yeah, there's some things in my life that really suck, but like, it could be worse. I've just got to enjoy each day. I've just got to push forward, and hopefully naturally everything falls into place.
I think I have to really stop being so pessimistic. I'm so pessimistic. It's
Do you really
bad.
think so?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen me at work.
I don't know. I wouldn't have you down as a pessimist, though.
Yeah,
I don't think I would.
Really?
I don't think I'd have you down as a pessimist.
I think it's like,
you're more pessimistic than optimistic, sure, but I don't think you're a pessimist. I think that's too far.
No, I think it's just more like, I'm when it comes to myself.
Yeah.
Like with doing things every day, I think I've just built up such a like get up and go.
Yeah. That
the real pessimism would come out if I stopped.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I think this year is my goal is to slow down, but still maintain a get up and go.
Yeah.
Positive mentality.
Yeah,
I think.
Fair enough. So yeah, that's New Year's resolutions. Now, we wanted to introduce a new segment. We always do towards the end of the episode, either a dilemma or would you rather, something a little bit fun to round us off. Today we're introducing the Crazy Ideas Machine. And effectively, we just want to talk about, and we want your submissions with this as well. Like, if you've got anything that you think you just had a wild idea in your head, why doesn't this exist? Or you know, why has nobody invented this? Like, even if it's something completely far-fetched.
Yeah.
And it'd just be interesting to hear people's views and stuff. So we just wanted to kind of ease into it and talk about some things that we think should be a thing.
I actually thought of one this morning when I was getting ready.
Yeah, go on.
Anyone that says they're a technophobe should get a free Nokia 35010. And that is their phone.
I disagree with that. Do you know why? Because if you say you're a technophobe, it's because you've not been willing to learn.
Yes. And they will not become willing to learn. So I give them a free Nokia 5010.
Yeah, no, but...
and then they stop bothering me.
True, there is that. But like at the same time, it's like, and I say this all the time, is that if you stop with technology, with any technology, if you stop and you take a step back from it, you're going to get out of touch. Yeah. You have to remain in touch. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind, and then you're going to feel like you're lost in that situation. I think you should always be willing to dip a toe in and learn. And I think if people think, oh, I don't do all that tech stuff, that's because you're stubborn and you don't want to learn. And I don't have sympathy for that, unfortunately.
Life is an endless learning experience. Yeah. So to give up, and effectively that's what it is.
Yeah.
To give up is unfortunately not an option.
No.
Life carries on.
It keeps on going.
The world evolves and the world moves.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be able to move with it.
Yep.
You know, like things change every day, and if you're not willing to learn new things, for me personally, I don't have time.
No,
I don't have time.
Do you know what I want as an invention? I want there to be like stop. You know when you're in a car and you're in like a busy area, maybe like central London, and you've got like certain bays where you can stop. It's like a drop-off point. Yeah. So it's not parking space, but it's like a drop-off only.
Yeah.
I think we need that for pedestrians in London. I think we need as you're going down like a main road and it's all crowded, we need like little bits that you can. I know there's not really a space for it, so it's not plausible, but we need little sections that are like hatch markings on the ground where people can stop and faff about. Because there is nothing more annoying than when you're trying to storm through a crowd and you're like, and I do this when I'm at work as well, because I'm on my lunch. I just want to go and get my lunch. I want to go back. I want to get on with it. And there's people that are just faffing about. They'll stop and they're just looking around aimlessly like this, and they're like a bit lost as to where they are, or they're like, oh, should we go in this shop, or should we do this, or they're looking at their phone, texting or whatever,
and cut in front of
and
you.
they either cut in front and they stop, or they've got no spatial awareness at all, or they're a slow walker. Oh, it drives me all bonkers. I can't stand that. We just need zones where you can just go and stand there and faff about and then come back.
The faff zone.
The faff zone.
The faff zone.
That's what we know. That's not a crazy idea. That's a brilliant idea.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant idea. Some called you crazy.
Yeah. but they would be wrong. They would be wrong. Let's start a government petition.
Oh, God.
10,000 signatures is all we need.
Oh,
and
God.
they'll come back and say this is ludicrous.
So I'm looking for a new podcast host. Dan has ventured into the political world.
Never in a million years.
No.
Any other ideas?
Well, on the politics note, every politician should have to sit a lie detector after they've been. So they go through all of their, campaigning and stuff like that. They get elected. Cool. They then have to sit a lie detector.
Yep.
And every statement that they made in their campaign, they have to be proven that they're going to do it.
That would be absolutely terrifying. There would be riots.
And if they lie once, immediately, whoever was second place wins. Until we go through and someone is telling the truth.
Yeah. You'd run out. You'd run out. What about, I was just thinking in terms of, you should have, what's that show when it's like the boss? Oh, Undercover Boss. When they the boss comes into the work environment. I think that should be a compulsory thing for everyone in upper management in workplace environments to be able to come down and see what's going on the ground level and get some context. I think that should be mandatory. I also think the same for politicians. Anyone who's making decisions about people on the poverty line, I think should be subjected to that. What's that other show? I think it's like a Channel 4 show or something where it's like someone who's really rich. Is it Rich House?
Yeah,
Poor House,
Rich House, Poor House.
Is that the one where they swap houses and see what it's like
swap
to live?
lifestyles?
Yeah, swap lifestyles. So someone who's really crazy rich comes and lives on someone who's on benefits, and vice versa. The person who's on benefits goes and lives on an allowance of $3,000 a week or whatever. I think that should also be mandatory for people who are in high power to go and spend a week or something actually living their policies and seeing whether they work realistically. Yeah. I think that would be...
I agree.
It's never going to happen, but I think that would be wicked because it gives context.
It gives context, and not only that, I think it reinforces to whoever is making these policies what changes they need to make, or what they're doing is fundamentally right or wrong. And I think it would be good. It would be good to have that something like that where they understand the impact that they have on the general populace.
Yeah, exactly that. Doesn't seem like such a crazy idea, right?
No, it doesn't seem such like.
No, it's financially not really viable.
Crazy ideas machine is starting to be like common sense.
Yeah,
ideas machine.
There's no such thing as common sense.
Right, there you go. You have to take a common sense test.
For what?
If you want to become a member of society. So when you leave school, when you leave college, you have to take a common sense test.
What happens if you fail?
If you fail, back to school. You repeat the last year.
Teach you anything like that.
But that's the problem. There you go. There's another one.
Yeah.
Schools teaching actual life skills.
Yeah. Imagine knowing how to do your taxes or pay your bills or run a business.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, algebra. It's all right, we've got an episode coming up on that. We can rant about that for a whole hour.
Oh, please don't tell me we've got an episode about bloody algebra.
No, not algebra, you muppet. I wouldn't know where to start. I just closed the episode out after 5 minutes. I'm rubbish at maths.
ABC equals 1, 2, 3.
ABC. No, we don't have the license for that song.
No. No. I mean, it was funny, but it's quite serious. Yeah.
Other crazy ideas. I also think that this isn't really a crazy idea. I think that in terms of bars and restaurants, I think skinny paper straws should be outlawed.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
What?
Those poor turtles.
No, not plastic straws. Just thick paper straws. Thick paper straws.
Or
have you ever been to KFC and had one of their paper straws? Fair. After literally you've consumed about 100 millilitres of the drink, the straw is unusable.
This is true.
You have to charge the straw, open the whole thing up and start drinking it like a coffee, and it's not doable. Whereas you go to somewhere like McDonald's, their straws are nice and thick, and you can just use them for the whole duration.
That is fair. That is fair. Thick paper straws.
Again, common sense idea.
Just common sense idea. Yeah, yeah. Crazy ideas machine starting to sound like people haven't just thought about things.
Yeah, we're going to have to rename the segment, aren't we? It's not crazy ideas machine. It's just
why hasn't anyone thought of this machine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very true. I mean, that works too. I'm sure lots of people have a lot of these ideas.
And we would love to hear them. Please,
we would
in
love
the comments,
to hear them,
submit them to us.
Yeah, please. Honestly, I'd love to. I love getting submissions on Instagram of things, passion points for people to discuss.
Yeah,
so
whatever you're watching, listening, find us on Instagram, find us on YouTube, wherever. Send us a message. Let us know. Give us some submissions.
Yeah,
we would genuinely love to hear.
Honestly, we really would. And yeah, of course, find us on TikTok for all of our clips, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. We've also got all of our updates go on our Instagram story. You can find our personal Instagrams on the Way It Goes podcast Instagram page, and you can also find us on YouTube if you want to watch the podcast. If you're watching, please give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or now Amazon and Deezer, all of these platforms, if you are listening on any of those platforms, please leave us a good review. Be as honest as you like. The feedback's always appreciated. And of course, we're going to end today on a quote. So today's quote is, and this is one that I feel really ties in with the 2024 theme.
Okay.
And that is
of existential dread.
No. That's not the 2024 attitude, Ryan. So the quote is, "You can get excited about the future, the past won't mind."
Ooh. Oh, I like that.
In other words, if you're dealing with stuff, if you're struggling, if you're worried about things that have happened to you in the past, you're still entitled to look forward to something.
It is just a very fancy way of saying the past is the past.
Yeah, just look forward to have something to look forward to.
I like that. I'm a very big believer in what has happened. Continue.
Yeah.
If something bad has happened, you can move forward.
Yeah.
There's always a way forward. There's always a you can always push yourself to continue onwards. With, as I always say, with people around you, even on your own. Pardon me, you can do this.
Yeah.
You can absolutely do this. You've got this. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, whether it be mental, whether it be physical, whether it be, something that's happened in your life, you got this. You can do it.
Yeah.
100%. What has happened has happened.
We
can't change that.
No, can't change it.
So let's just keep powering through. Let's keep moving on. 2024, baby. Let's go.
So there we go. That is the first episode of 2024 done. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We always appreciate everything that you do, all the shares and that kind of thing. Please do also, if you are listening and you think that someone else that you know in your life would enjoy the podcast, please reach out to them and recommend it, because we're at that stage now. We've got so much good feedback from family, friends, and I have people listening through my Instagram that I don't know in person and stuff like that. We're trying to break out of that bubble now. We're trying to reach the masses. So
trying to reach the masses.
Yeah.
Give us the feedback. If you think that there's things we can improve on, please let us know.
Yeah.
We're not precious. We want to improve. We want to get better.
The hard thing about the podcast that we've chosen to do is that we're such a balance of, like, we want to be an entertainment show, but we talk about such serious topics, and it's one of them things, like, if you're in a really good mood, sometimes you just want to listen to something funny, but if you're in a really bad mood, sometimes you just want to listen to something motivational, and we sit in the middle. And
I feel like we do sit in the middle.
It's a bit of a niche, isn't it? It's a bit of a niche.
I feel like we do sit in the middle.
But if you enjoy it, please put it out there. We really appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
And
if you can put up with my buffoonery and
my voice sounding like Barry White today.
I see trees of
green.
No, wait, that's not Barry White.
No. Oh God!
I've done it again.
On that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.